Hi, this is Dr. O'Hara, and I'm going to pick up with my third segment. And I left off in the last segment with paragraphs in a series. And one thing that I did want to mention is that in DHS style, there is no use of bullets. That's why you need to use these paragraphs in a series. APA style uses bullets, but DHS style does not. Also, DHS style does not use any bolding, whereas APA style does. In the margins, double check that they are 1 inch all around. You may have to go to your page layout in order to double check that. The title page uses a center alignment, just like your headings do all throughout your paper. And when you have the body of the paper, you want to make sure that you have the left flush. And when you're doing your table of contents, you want to make sure that you have the justified so that everything lines up under the 1 inch marks. And an indentation is only 5 spaces. And you may have to even set that if it's not set. And you can do that here in this area where you can change this up to 0.5. I like to do my own indentation so I don't turn it on. Table of contents. Just one thing I wanted to mention with that is that the numbers on the right-hand side indicate the beginning of where the information can be located. When you have a range of numbers, then you have an index. And so that's in the back of the book. So for the table of contents, it's just the first page where the information is located. If you need more examples, you can look on page 14 to 16 for tables of contents, and title pages are on 28 and 29. If you have an appendix, when you continue the information to the next page, then you repeat the appendix designation as the title of the page, and then you put continued next to it there. If you have more than one appendix, then it's Appendix A, Appendix B, Appendix C. With the continued, and this is so that the reader understands that you're continuing the same information over several pages. You also do this with the table of contents. When you go on to the next page, you put table of contents in full caps with this continued, and then you also continue the page, or PAGE over here, so that your numbers will line up under the EN page. Please, please, please run your spell check and your grammar check. I can't tell you how many careless errors you are going to be able to find by doing this. You may find that the grammar check is alerting you to something that you're not going to do anything about, but that's fine. You can just ignore it and move on to the next one. Hyphens. When you have 2 or more words that modify a noun, usually before a verb, they are hyphenated. After the verb, usually there's no noun to modify, so they're not hyphenated. Here's some examples. Her 5-year-old daughter has not attended school. So 5-year-old is describing daughter, and so that's why these are hyphenated. But her daughter is 5 years old. There's no noun to modify, so there's no hyphens there. In this one, I have the well-dressed man stepped into the elevator. So well-dressed is describing man, so these are hyphenated. But we can say he was well-dressed. No man here, so we don't hyphenate this. But we can say he was a well-dressed man. This is after the verb, but these 2 words are modifying man, so that's why that would be hyphenated. Here are some common ones that we use in our papers: face-to-face, day-to-day, mother-in-law, full-time, part-time. If you are using numbers spelled out, if they modify something, then you need to use the hyphen. Same thing with fractions. The other thing I want to point out is that there are no spaces around the hyphen. You type the word, you put in the hyphen, you type the next word. Also, when you have numbers in a range in the body of the paper, you're going to substitute the word to, T-O, for this. But this is my citation, and so I'm using the hyphen here, and that's perfectly okay. I'm going to stop here, and I'll pick up with my next segment.